Oh, hello, hello, hello. We are live. We are in pre-production mode for the Xander Gibbs Show. We will be starting very soon. Just going to share the feeds. Just making sure that we are, yes, we are going out on YouTube. Makes a huge difference to know that we're actually broadcasting live. It's Tuesday. And it really is a lot of stuff going on. Let's click the go to and hope we can click mute in time before we get this double bubble, because believe me, one of me is enough without a secondary version of me. Where are we? Can't even see the mute button there, but we are going to, don't know what is happening here. Page size is not reducing. Don't you hate it when you get technical problems when you are broadcasting live? It is a burden. Maybe I have to click play. Oh, there we go. You have to click play before you get a, let's make the page a bit bigger, because even with my glasses on, it's difficult to see. Let me share the link. I will come and say hello to everybody individually. Here we go. That's the link for there. I need an assistant, so if you want a job, I need someone to share the show to the various pages, so people know that we are live and that we are conservatives and that we are fighting to make America great again. So I just have to do a little more sharing. But while I'm doing this sharing. What you could maybe do is click the share button yourself. And as usual, when I say share, I mean share, not share. Because we don't hold truck. What you could maybe do is click the share button. There you go. Yourself. And as usual, it's kind of worrying to see yourself and hear yourself in like it's like multi-dimensional Xander. Okay, so we got to share this here so that is done. So people on Instagram, you can come across and watch too. Oh yes, sorry. That's that done, dusted, and live. And we can get going. Let me just come to the live stream. Before we get started, hello to everyone in the live feed. Hello to Chet. Hello to Pete. Hope you're doing good, Pete. Thank you for your service. That's my nephew. He is an ambulance worker, driver, whatever they call them. Whatever the correct ambulance person, I suppose it would be nowadays. And he met the wonderful Boris Johnson recently. Who we will be talking about a little later on in the show. Facebook does make it a pain to share. I'm just going to see if it's going to let me do that now. I don't think it's just that Facebook makes it a pain to share. I think some people, because sometimes when you go to, here we go. When you click a share, what it actually does is, it doesn't let you always kind of share all at once, which means you can just go boom, 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 and share to every page from one posting. But unfortunately, I think it kind of catches on to that and it goes, are you a conservative? Then you can't share altogether. Hi, Roger. Hi, Nick. Hi, Nicholas. Welcome to the show. We are getting started in just a couple of minutes. We are just sharing the show. If you could click that share button now, and we will be getting started any minute now. I think we scared Pete away. Maybe we're a little bit too conservative for him. Or maybe he doesn't like my Boris Johnson impersonation, which I actually got a call to do a gig this week as Boris Johnson, vocally, of course, because I don't look anything like him. I refused to do it because they wanted me to say things that were not very appropriate in Boris's voice. And although, I'm a little peeved at him right now, I don't want to do bad things with regards to Boris Johnson, because I don't think that is fair, right, or proper, because we have to give him the opportunity to prove himself again. We'll be talking about Boris a little later. I am just sharing to a few pages so people can know where we are. Yeah, absolutely, Chet. The thing that really bothers me about it is they wanted me to say, I really can't kind of say on air, but they wanted me to say really bad things about him, that he was admitting to being an a-hole and things like this. And the money was quite lucrative, but, I'm not selling my soul, for any price. It's just not happening. So I'm just sharing to a few more pages, so we can get started very soon. We're gonna get this party started. We're gonna be taking your calls as well, and you can even call if you're in the United Kingdom. We have a UK number now, so people can call from the UK. So when we get to that point, I will give you the number. This is hard work. I just love it when you can go bing, 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 bing. Yeah, we're going to talk about the protests and the riots a little later. What do you mean? You're calling me a chicken? I'm not a chicken, Susan. I am the recalcitrant hen. That's my Twitter handle. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I am in fact the recalcitrant hen on Twitter. So come and follow me on there. I should be in NYC. I absolutely should. We're going to talk a little bit more about NYC when we get there. You see, what I need someone that's going to say, Zad, I'm going to share all of the pages for you, so you can just start your show at 8 o'clock Eastern time, and just okay. So we are ready to go live, if I can get to the right place, for tonight's episode of the Xander Gibbs Show. In 5, 4, 3, 2, go! Opening title. It has been good to me this time around. Things were the other bound to change when it was found. Sugar never tasted sweeter on my lips. My heart is now intact, and I can find no ribs. This is love, yeah, love. Never known true love before. Seen so many counterfeits that left me on the floor. This is love, yeah, love. All will come to those who wait. Time it cannot know the bounds, and eras don't dictate. Well, hello and welcome to Tuesday's episode of the Xander Gibbs Show on the Oh, the talk show that gets you talking on the Zandemonium Network, live from an undisclosed location. And no, it's not my mother's basement, but it is your mother's basement. So make sure you bring down some milk and some cookies. Bringing you the best in Patriot broadcasting, 5 nightly, quite rightly. And I'm Xander Gibb because, who else would I be? On tonight's show, I get on my soapbox and give you the chance to get on yours too. And I'll phone in. Stephen Brunton from Jesus Hooligan drops by, and in part 2, author Frank Diversa joins us and gives you a chance to win a copy of his book, Spirituality in the 21st Century. Now you can have your say in the feed below, and as usual, I will be sharing your comments as long as they are, pretty clean-ish. And you can call us in the phone, and when we get to that segment, the numbers to call 845-363-4747. That's if you're in the United States. That's 847-363-4747 if you are in the United States. And if you are in England, in the United Kingdom, you can call me on 0208 133 5247. That's 028 133 5247. The numbers are here in case you forget, or even in case if I forget my own numbers. You can follow me on all social media, and you can check me out at xandergibb.com. Can't take everyone, but you can go to the event page. It will allow you to set up a reminder. And now it's time for my soapbox for today, because it seems there's been a little bit of a cessation in violence and looting in D.C. Overnight. I'm wondering if this is actually the end of this. There is no doubt in my mind that this has been planned and executed down to the letter. Who is funding all of this? I think it's a mixture of people. I think it's George Soros, and I think it's the Democrats too, and anyone else with a stake in ensuring that Donald Trump is not president for another term of office. Now, by the sheer fact that people are trying to blame the president for the fact that George Floyd was killed, and the racism that's going on in the United States right now. Now, this has been growing for years. Remember when Hillary was talking about black people and said that they were super predators and they needed to be brought to heel? Now, even last week, Sleepy Joe Biden suggested that I need to get a Q prompter that works properly, but what he did suggest was that you weren't black enough if you didn't vote for him. Now, the Democrats are racist, the Democrats are the dividers, and the Democrats are the ones who have the most to gain from painting this in such a way. Now, whilst I do not want to decry the heinous act of the killing of George Floyd, we have to separate his murder from the actions of rioters and looters. Now, even his brother said not in his name. He would not have wanted this for anyone to imagine that this is actually anything to do with racism is folly. This is just furthering the agenda and the attempts to ensure that the president does not go away. That the president does not get another term of office. Now, lost my place now because we got a call. In essence, now the stupidity of those that are willing to... Oh, gosh, this is great. The wonders of live broadcasting. Please don't call until we get to the phone in. Now, it's frightening to say the least. You do not have to be a brain surgeon to see where this has come from. Make sure you are on full guard. Make sure you too will be accused of racism for not supporting rioting and looting. Now, in UK news, our dear leader Boris Johnson has decreed, are you ready for this? You may not leave your house to go have sex with someone who lives in a separate house to you. So how does that go with you and your girlfriend, Boris? Am I the only one who sees the level of control that is going on here. I mean, it's not the level of control that's going on in NYC. I give it to you, but surely it's over control. Now, I am praying that we will see through the lunacy soon, before it is too late, and before we give away too many of our rights, before we will allow these dictators like Bill de Blasio and Andrew Cuomo to control this beyond the point of dictatorship. What will you do? So if you need a little light relief, check me out on TikTok. You can also follow me on YouTube and all social media. Now that was my soapbox for today. If you want to get on your soapbox, go across to xandergibb.com/contact. That's xandergibb.com/contact. And we will endeavor to get you on the show. Now we have time for a couple of calls. You may now call in. If you're calling from the USA, you can call us on 845-363-4747. Or if you are calling from the UK, you can call us on 0208-133-5274. Yeah, I was trying to ignore it. Chet says, screw DiTardio. His name is D. Blizzardio. Let's get it right, Chet. Hi to CV. Yeah, TikTok is what Obama and Hillary is hearing. We have a call, and it's an unknown person. Let's see who this is. Hello, you're live on the Xander Gibb Show. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, I am calling from the car insurance company. You have another car insurance.
We're in a live broadcast right now, so please don't call back again or we will report you to the authorities. So if you are not a car insurance company, please call us on the numbers prescribed. We are having lots of technical problems tonight. Car insurance companies calling us while we are live on the air. I mean, what the hell next? Do you want to buy car insurance? No, I don't want to buy your car insurance. Don't call me. Try again, chat. I'm sorry. It should work now. In fact, let me just restart this very quickly. Skype is not always very reliable, as is. Hi, you're live on the Xander Gibb Show. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Xander, this is Chet Martin from Joe Biden's headquarters, looking for some big-time donations for Joe. I'm not sure where he is, what state, or even what year it is, but we need some donations. We need to buy more black masks for Joe Biden.
So you're not calling to sell me any car insurance like the Chinese lady that just called?
Was that what it was? Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
Marketer, huh? Really?
Yeah, exactly.
During the show.
Exactly. So how is the world with you? How is this craziness affecting you? Are you kind of a little bit removed from it being in Long Island, or is it just as difficult for you too?
Oh, well, the town that my children live in had a big protest last night, so it's not far removed from me. I was talking to their mother today. Apparently nothing was destroyed, but they were there, they were in force, and they're all being bussed in. It's obviously being paid for by all the usual suspects.
Right.
You know, CV says it a lot too. We always point the finger at George Soros, but there are so many others and much more nefarious people. Not that he's not nefarious, he is, for sure. But we have a lot of people pouring money into Antifa, including the DNC, the ACLU, and the Southern Poverty Law Center. Those are the real terrorists.
Yes, for sure. But where does the end check? Because, you know, not only are they destroying our cities, you know, they're even shipping in piles of bricks ready for people to throw. And the worry for me is there going to be anything left but a pile of rubble after? And isn't that what the Democrats actually want?
Well, I hope that we try to get some video footage of these bricks and water bottles being brought in and dumped into different communities because, you know, we have satellites combing the earth all the time, Xander. And we really do have a lot of cameras in the streets, especially in these inner city areas. So I bet, you know, dollars to donuts, they have evidence on who was bringing it in unless those people were masked. But we see that in the black community, and there's some video out of them handing out, and these are the white masked thugs, handing them out to 16-year-old boys. And one of the mothers of the child that was given this brick that I saw on a video came up to these Antifa scumbags, and she told them, "Get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
These guys are coming in, and they're blaming us for all the chaos that you're starting." And they know that they're doing that, and they're doing it for a reason.
Right, and the police are being told to have this softly approach, which means they're doing, you know, sod all about it, excuse my French. So there's no deterrent, there's nothing stopping them from doing it because they know that all they're going to get is a bench ticket. I mean, let's face it, de Blasio's own terrorist daughter got a bench ticket for what she did, and I'm sure that that's going to disappear too.
Yeah, I had never seen a picture of her until yesterday. She is uglier than her brother. But considering who the parents are, it's no shock to me. I wonder how Mrs. de Blasio is doing on that new board. Is she losing another $850 million? They put her on another board. And I heard de Blasio today, and shame on him. He even comes to the aid of the New Yorkers that voted him in. He was actually lecturing white New Yorkers yesterday. I couldn't believe it. Those are the people that put him in. Liberals, and then he turns around and puts you down.
Right, absolutely. But you know, I've said this a lot lately. Don't you think that the liberals are getting as pissed about it as the Republicans are? Because ultimately it's affecting them too. You know, it's their grandparents that were killed in the nursing homes by Cuomo. You know, how's he going to ever wash the blood off his hands? Surely the first reason for any elected official to have their position taken away from them is if they've been responsible for the deaths of even one person.
Of course, and you know, this is all adding up to they don't care about George Floyd. Probably, Xander, if you went up to some of these agitators and showed them a picture of him, they wouldn't know who the hell he was.
No.
Because they don't give a rat's ass what happened to George Floyd. And second of all, let's get all the background. Obviously, this cop had some issues. I heard about 18 flag incidents that he had with Amy Klobuchar, by the way, never made a move to get him off the force.
Right.
But let's make sure this is really a racist act that this guy was committing.
Right.
Because, you know, sometimes people kill just because they're psychopaths.
Yeah, but don't you think that, you know, I watched that video a couple of times because obviously, you know, I've needed to comment on it in various different places. But the thing is, for me, that and I'm not decrying this, you know, if I felt it was because the guy was black, I would be the first one to say, but I think it was more because the cop was an absolute asshole and treated everybody like that, including his ex-wife. But what is this doing? I think this is putting targets on the backs of the police, you know, not just the NYPD, but everywhere. And you know, people are saying, oh, let's defund the police. Absolutely, let's defund the police. And then when you do get someone coming in your home with a gun, just call a crackhead. That simple.
And it's sad how they keep promulgating the idea that it's always the law enforcement officers out there that are targeting the black community.
Right.
Listen, there probably are some. There's not many. Most cops are good.
Yeah.
From a family of law enforcement. My grandfather was a cop after he came home from Iwo Jima. So I know a thing or two about law enforcement in New York. 99 to 98% of them are good people. You're always going to have that percentages, no matter what. Lawyers, doctors, in the military, police, teachers. There's going to be bad people in all these walks of life and professions, but you have to be able to separate those. And the sad part is, we've seen up to 6 right now, I believe, police officers that have been shot, and 2 of them are in critical condition.
Yeah.
And one of the security officers was actually killed.
Yeah, I find that quite worrying. And when I hear real a-holes, like Cuomo suggesting that the police force is institutionally racist, that really worries me because you're going to find bad apples in every profession, just like you said. But to tar everyone with the same brush, to say everyone is the same, just because of the bad behavior of a few, it's a worry.
Yeah.
It really is. But where do you think this is going?
Well, Cuomo is just an absolute piece of dog, you know what? And I have no
Yeah.
room for him. And the fact that they can gang up on the police like they have over the past weeks shows you that they don't want this to stop.
No.
That's what it means.
No, because they're invested in it, aren't they? This to me is like a continue from the day that President Trump decided he was going to run. They've had the knives out for him since then. They tried to impeach him over ridiculous things, over things that they'd done. Then they politicized COVID-19, because obviously that's out of the window now. Because how can we be expected to social distance anywhere if these thugs are out, pillaging and stealing and doing Oprah impressions? You get a TV,
Right.
you get a TV. How can we be expected to still socially distance? And as for Boris saying, you can't go to somebody else's house to have sex. I mean, how will I survive?
Well, the thing, and sometimes you do have to laugh because the world is so crazy.
You do.
But, this social distancing and the masks and, that all went out the window for like 2 days. And now you see them releasing statements, backtracking. And they're like, oh, this might, they might have a rise in the COVID-19. Give me a break, man. It's like the perfect storm for these two. So I want to say one. I know you have to let me go because you have a guest coming up. Shame on the media for lecturing Donald J. Trump for getting in front of that church that was almost burned to the ground.
Yeah,
and holding
disgusting.
up, oh, is that your Bible?
Yeah.
The man was making a point.
Yeah.
The man was making a point, and we shouldn't have churches burnt to the
No.
ground. And
And
I think he did a great job today.
I do.
hope he does it again tomorrow. How about that?
I still support President Trump 200%. And when you have assholes, there you go, I said it, in the United States photoshopping pictures of Hitler with the Bible in their hand and saying, it's historically accurate. Both of these people are tyrants and have Bibles in their hands. I'm tired of it. And it's not only disingenuous, it's actually dangerous. And I think that it's time that we all stood up to these people. I know we get into trouble on social media for doing it, but I still think we have to do it, because if we don't defend him, who will?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we have to push back. We definitely have to push back.
Absolutely. I got to let you go, but I know you're coming on this week, and you'll be on every week on the show. But tell people where they can find you very quickly in the interim.
Well, go to freedomondeck.com and check out everything. It gives you the time of the show, where you can listen, the links, 94.9 News Now and Stimulated Talks, terrestrial station in Connecticut, Long Island, and Rhode Island. Go to our Facebook, go to our Twitter, go to everything that TV's got out there, BitChute, all that stuff is there.
Right.
It's all linked up through the site. And you can just get a lot of good information on our site. It's really a good place to go.
Absolutely. So make sure you check out Freedom on Deck, and Chet will be back with us. I think, is it tomorrow? I think my brain can't think beyond
I have
today.
to look. I have to look. It's been a heavy schedule. I didn't even know you're going on at 8 tonight. So
Yeah,
I'm way out of it.
for sure. 8 o'clock weeknights. But we will catch up with you very soon, my friend. Thank you so much for calling in.
All right, man.
Thanks a lot. Take care.
Keep going. Keep fighting, bro.
Thanks a lot. You too. That was Chet Martin from Freedom on Deck. Make sure you check him out and go and check out the page. For some reason, I've got two things of Skype open. So it is time for my first guest. If I can find the got to have two mice or mouses or whatever it's called. My first guest is actually from Jesus, and I caught up with him today to check out what is going on with him. Let's go over there right now. new musical phenomenon is happening and on the rise here in the UK. I've got the wrong teeth in today. I think I'm breaking them in for a horse. And it's really an acquired taste. Long-term listeners and viewers of the show will remember Stephen Brunton from a Jesus Hooligan. Well, folks, Jesus has re-entered the building. We're going to talk to Stephen in just a minute. But before we do that, if I can find the right frickin' mouse, we are going to listen to his song Rain, and it goes a little bit like this. That was Rain by Jesus Hooligan. Please join me in welcoming back to the show the fabulous Stephen Brunton. Welcome back to the show, Steve. How is the world with you in this lockdown lunacy?
Firstly, thank you for having me back.
Always a pleasure.
It's very. I find it very interesting. I haven't seen my wife now since February. Because I came down to London to be with my 14-year-old son who was having major spinal surgery.
Right.
At the start of March. And while he was in hospital, I was in hospital with him for 10 days. And on the 9th day, they said to us, if you don't, we have to get you out of the hospital now, or else you will be locked down with us. And we can't let you out until the lockdown is finished. So he's been recovering at his mother's house. So every day I've just been travelling from my place in London. I'm travelling from my place in London to his mother's house and basically spending the days with my two sons.
Wow.
so for me, I've enjoyed it because it's been a lovely family time with me and my two sons. We all get on very well. So, but I think I'm lucky in that I have my sons. I miss my wife, of course, and my dog, because she's got the dog up in Suffolk, but I can't see them because of the lockdown.
Right.
So, but the way it is nowadays, you just talk to people on the other end of the computer.
For sure. It is. It really is that simple. So I want to jump right in, and I suppose the most obvious question is, where does the name Jesus Hooligan come from, and how would you categorize your music? Because for me, it's kind of like a mixture of ska, punk, industrial, and tribal, but I guess it's for you as the artist to kind of define yourself.
Jesus Hooligan basically it's like a working title for me with anything I want to do musically. I put it under the name of Jesus Hooligan. I was in punk bands for many years, became very ill, and then just started doing home recordings on the Jesus Hooligan. But the thing I love about it is I do many different things with it. I have a Jesus Hooligan drum circle, and that is a full-on mad tribal event. Each gig is an event. It's not just a gig. It's basically where the audience become the band.
Right.
All the songs are they're very simple with very simple beats, and so you have on stage you'll have one or two guitarists, you'll have two or three drummers, you have didgeridoo players, and in the audience you'll have up to 22 barrels, and usually on each barrel you can fit between 6 and 8 people with sticks hitting the barrels.
Right.
So the actual thing is quite it's very tribal, and it's, as I say, it's not really a gig. It becomes more of an event. That's the Jesus Hooligan drum circle. But then it goes into other things where I do. There was a thing called Vane, and that was just me on stage with a guitarist and a didgeridoo player. Basically, I don't like being buttoned down into one thing. And the good thing about the Jesus thing is I can do anything with it that I like. I can do fast songs, slow songs, I can do love songs, and I can do hate songs, which I do, and they will work.
So, and there's me thinking it was because you thought you could walk on water and then go and wreck everything.
No, the funny thing is, religion is great for certain people. I'm not a religious person. I don't, and saying I'm not a religious person, I look at religion. I go, if you want to be religious, well, good for you. And you can get a lot of good things out of religion. So go for it. But I'm not. And saying that, I have nothing against religion. The actual name Jesus Hooligan is not really a religious thing. I was involved in two bands back in the 1980s. Really, one was called the Lagerlouts, and that's where the Hooligan name comes from. And the other one was called Godshatter, which is a line from a science fiction book, and that's really big. And we were a space rock band, and so I took the Jesus from Godshatter, and Lagerlouts became Hooligan. So it's just a mix-up of two bands that I've been involved in in the past.
So what kind of people follow you, and what kind of venues do you perform in?
The lovely thing is we sort of have a very wide circle of people that follow us. You have you have hippies, you have punks, you have crusties, you have 84-year-old ladies who just love the idea of what I do, and they'll turn up at the concerts, and we give them their own barrels, and they give them a stick, and they will actually hit the barrel all the way through the concert. But that's what I love about it. People in wheelchairs, we cater for them as well. And the way I look at it is, you don't have to be any way important or special to be in a band.
Absolutely.
That's why I allow the audience to be the band. And I look at it this way, the audience is just as important, if not more important, than the band. We're just turning up there doing what we do, but they're actually making it, and that, to me, means, you can, sometimes you can do a gig and you walk away from there, and it's quite, you get all very emotional because you realise you're not that important. Because
Right.
if I just turned up there and dropped all the barrels off, it probably would have went ahead anyway. Everybody gets into it.
That's
And I think
interesting.
that's a very, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think that's a very, it seems to be something that comes out in the human psyche. I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe from like a million years ago. It's just something that if you give somebody maybe a fire to play around and give them a stick and something to hit,
Yeah.
they're going to hit it.
Yeah, it's a very primal concept, isn't it? I know once I was doing a gig, I was singing, and after this guy came up to me and he had another guy kind of like holding his arm like he was his carer, and he said, "My friend wants me to tell you that he really thoroughly enjoyed the concert." And I went, "Oh, well, thank you." And he said, "Oh, and he's deafblind," and I laughed kind of nervously,
Yeah.
and I said, "So how, not being mean, but how could this guy enjoy the concert if he's deaf and blind?" And he's like, he felt the vibrations through his feet, and he could tell the purity of your voice from the level of the vibrations, which really kind of blew me away. Now, I'm guessing from hearing your stuff, because it's quite loud and it's got quite a beat to it, that everybody can get something from it.
Oh yeah, again, I mean, and that's the beauty of it. It's about, all my songs are just, I write all my songs not to music. I write them just to a beat, and
Right.
I mean, my brother owns a farm, and that's where I keep all my. It's not a working farm. It's just he owns a lot of farmland, and that's where I actually lock up all my barrels. I have like nearly 30 barrels with chains. There's tons of chains, and it's quite industrial there. And it's great because I've got it all set up. I just set my barrels up, and I can on my own, I can make a right racket and not disturb anybody. But the beauty of that is, it's very easy to write songs because all the songs they're in my head anyway, and they're going to a beat in my head. So I just basically I can rehearse on my own, and I could turn up at a venue with a load of songs in my head that I haven't actually played live before, do them, and they usually work because they're very simple, very primal, and they, if I just say to people, this is the way the beat goes, they usually hit that beat, and once you hear it, within 5 seconds you know the song. And that's, I think that's, I get very excited about it.
Absolutely, and you seem to, it looks like you have a lot of fun performing.
Oh God, yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. I mean, I've been the problem is I keep getting ill. And, they keep operating on me. I've had like about 30 operations the last few years. When that's the only thing that stopped me from performing live is operations. So I'm hoping now, once this lockdown's out of the way, that I don't have an operation for a few years, and that means I can make a lot of noise and hopefully give a lot of people a lot of happiness and maybe annoy a few people as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that always helps. Now, your choice of instrument is quite interesting and unconventional. You kind of, it's like, you pick stuff like barrels and chains and things like that, kind of proving that anything can be used to,
Anything.
Yeah.
I've done songs. I mean, I've done a release, an album last year called I've forgotten the name of it now. But it's
Isn't it always the way?
The whole album is based on no instruments. The whole album is based on sounds that you can make with your voice, or stamping, or barking. And
Right.
it's I recorded 8 songs. I love it because I'm gonna record another 8 songs. Hopefully when this lockdown is out of the way, and it's the same thing. It's just going to be people shouting and barking. And I've actually done concerts to it. I class that as Jesus Hooligan's Natural Noise.
Right.
The release is under the name Natural Noise. the reason it's called natural noise is because you don't need any instrument at all. It can be done with just a simple bark, or a clap, or a stamp, or just a breath. Just someone going, I will make a song to that. And
Right.
I've done it. And I've done it live twice, and it works perfectly. The lovely thing is I then get the audience to come on stage, and I get them. I basically get off stage. They get on stage, and I conduct them like an orchestra.
Fabulous. So, but didn't you just release an album just before the lockdown?
Yeah, just the start of March, as the lockdown kicked in, we released an EP. I'm doing a series of EPs called under the name of Swan Stomp. It's called Jesus Hooligan Swan Stomp.
Right.
That's the first release. And all these, Lorraine, the song that you played at the start, is from Swan Stomp. And what I've done is I have this belief that if you can write a song just with a few words, just one line, or just with a sound, a bark or a grunt, and then make a proper song out of it, and do it in a way that people don't think it's a joke or they don't get bored of it, I think then that is a perfect song. And that's what I'm working on at the moment. I was actually working on 18 Swan Stomp songs, and I just finished 6 of them before my son went into hospital, and then of course the lockdown happened. So I released
The wonderful lockdown.
Yeah, but now I'm actually working on, I'm still working on the 12 songs, which will be, if the lockdown ends in about a month, I will have them completely finished. When I can get back into the studio, Ant Farm studio that I use, I will have them done within about 3 weeks. I will have about 12 more finished songs, because they're only part songs at the moment. But they're all songs with people barking, but there's always a heavy drum beat to them as well. So you can't either stop hitting things, or you can't stop moving once you hear them. That's my theory anyway. I don't know if it's going to work. Hopefully it will.
Absolutely. So we're coming to the end of our time together, but tell people where they can find your music and where they can find out more about you.
The beauty of the world nowadays is if you just put in Jesus Hooligan anywhere, you are going to get. I mean, everything. I've released 7 albums on. They're all on Spotify. They're all out there. Also YouTube. I mean, I love YouTube, and I listen to YouTube all day long. But all my stuff is on YouTube as well. Just put in Jesus Hooligan, and you will get, as I say, album upon album of Jesus Hooligan stuff. If you can, it'll be great. Just subscribe to the Jesus Hooligan YouTube page, and then you get everything, the whole thing. I know a lot of people are, they complain saying, well, it's not making money for the artist, which it doesn't. It doesn't really make money for the artist.
Right.
But what it does do, it gets for people like me who just like getting it out there. It works.
Absolutely.
It really does work.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Please go and check out the Jesus Hooligan page on Facebook. We will endeavor to get the link to the music and put it on the Xander Gibbs Show Facebook page for this week. But for now, from Jesus Hooligan, thank you, Stephen Brunton. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Arthur. Thank you, mate.
Take care. That was the fabulous Stephen Brunton from Jesus Hooligan. Make sure you go check them out on Facebook and check out his music. So my next guest, who should be, can't even talk, who should be calling in any minute is Frank DeVersa, author of Spirituality in the 21st Century, which offers an insight into the divine world and life, and is available on Amazon. And one lucky winner will get a copy tonight. So I'm just waiting for him to call in. And whilst I do, let's come to the live feed. Apparently Lee is watching me on the TV. This should be Frank. Let's bring him on. So please join me in welcoming to the show for the first time, author Frank Diversa. Welcome to the show, Frank. How is the world with you? Hello?
Hello?
Hi, is this Frank?
Yes.
Welcome to the show. How is the world with you?
Fine, thank you.
Good. So whereabouts in the world are you?
I'm sorry, what?
Whereabouts are you located?
I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
Whereabouts are you located? Can you not hear me? Is there a problem with the connection?
I find it very hard to understand what you're saying.
Right. Maybe you need to call back. Maybe it's a bad connection. I can hear you perfectly. If you want to try and call back again, because there's not a problem this end.
Okay.
I'm sorry about that, folks. We're having technical problems with Frank's phone there. So we're going to get him to call back in, and hopefully we will be able to bring him back on and talk to him a little bit about his book. So let's just come to the chat for a second. Here we go. Let's hope that Frank can hear us now. Can you hear us? Hello? Hello? This is typical. I'm hoping we can bring Frank back on in a mere moment. Apparently Lee is saying he's taking pictures of me and asking, Chet is asking if our caller is Joe Biden. No, it's not Joe Biden. It's our next guest, and I'm hoping we're going to be able to bring him on, but he seems to be having some audio problems. So let's hope he calls back. It's interesting. Every time I'm doing the show, I get an email from the president. I don't know if you're on his mailing list, but every day he sends out an email to the faithful, to those of us that support him and have supported him long term. Here we are. Frank is calling us back. Let's see if we can bring him on and see if he can actually hear me this time. Hello? The wonders of modern technology. Hello? Can you hear me, Frank?
Briefly.
Okay, so let's jump right in. Tell us a little bit about your book. First of all, tell us the title and tell us what inspired you to write it.
Well, one day back in 2007, I was thinking about spirituality, and the concepts of spiritual paths and voids in people's lives came to mind. I sat down and composed a 2-paragraph article about these and other topics. I showed it to several people and got a positive response. I thought more about it and composed a 3rd paragraph about types of learning. I wanted to appeal to a wider audience, so I created a website for the article. It no longer exists.
Right.
I solicited readers from anywhere and everywhere to read it and provide me with feedback.
Okay. So
I made countless revisions.
right. Let me stop you because we don't conduct interviews with reading from a script. Just kind of give us, you know, a kind of a kind of like a basic response to the questions, because it works better that way. So you base your book on the 5 principles of spiritual enlightenment. Tell us a little about what those principles are.
I'm having a hard time understanding you.
Right. I think that we probably need to abandon this interview, because if your phone is not working properly, I really don't know what else to suggest. Hello?
Yes?
So if your phone is not working properly and you can't understand me, I don't know what else to suggest. So let's leave it for today. Thank you very much. We'll try and have you on again in the future. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. So we had to abandon that interview because Frank's phone is not working well. But that's absolutely fine. Hi to Jane. Welcome. Yeah, it sounded like he was reading from his book. So apologies for that. It's very difficult to guarantee the quality of guests and whether or not they are going to be able to get a phone that works. So we're going to open up the phone lines again. So call us. What is the phone number? So you can call us on 845-363-4747. That's 845-363-4747. You can also call us if you're in the UK on 0208-133-5274. We're going to throw the phone lines open for the last segment of the show, as we had to bail on our guest because he basically didn't have a phone that worked properly. So give us a call, 845-363-4747. Or if you are in the United Kingdom, call us on 0208-133-5274. Yeah, Nicholas is saying it sounds like he had an ancient phone. Ancient wasn't the word. I think it was, you are allowed to call back, Chet. We're not Democrats. We don't have rules like that here. So yeah, I reckon he had one of those wind-up phones. So you know, we're opening up the phone lines. Give us a call. 845-363-4747. That's 845-363-4747. Oh, feel free to laugh, Stevie. When you're doing live broadcasts, these things always happen. So I think you always have to be able to talk. You know, I could talk for America. I could talk on any given subject for, you know, up to an hour, maybe longer. So, you know, it's absolutely fine. You can laugh, but we will prevail. So give us a call, 845-363-4747. Sorry, there won't be a prize tonight of the book, but obviously that's beyond my ability to do so. I'm just going to restart the Skype just in case there is a problem with it. Here we go. We got the Skype restarted. So give us a call now, 845-363-4747. Or if you are in the United Kingdom, call us on 0208-133-5274. Try it again, Chet. It shouldn't go to voicemail now. I just reset the system. You see, the problems of live broadcasting, you are dependent on so many things. I don't know why it's still going to voicemail. I just reset. Let me see if I can call Chet. Here we go. The wonders of modern technology. Let's see if we can call Chet back. He says with trepidation, here we are. See if it works this way. Hello? Yeah, hello, is this Fun Laws Chinese Takeaway? And can you tell me about your book without reading from a script?
Xander, you know, I wasn't trying to be a smartass in the feed, but I had a guest just like that, probably about 2 years back, maybe a little longer. I don't even know if CV was with us yet, but it was a disaster.
Right.
And, you know, and the issue, I know you as a radio host, as a your own show host, you kind of agree to these guests, but when they're in their 80s, you would think that the people booking them would tell you that, but
Yeah.
they don't.
No, absolutely, and that's not disrespectful to seniors, because there are people in their 90s that have something to say. But like when I have a guest on, I do spontaneous interviews, and you've obviously been on the show lots of times, so you kind of know where it's coming from. But
Yeah.
in order to
Yeah.
just read, you can't just read from a script. And that's clearly what he was doing. But it's absolutely fine. So before we had to kind of go to get the first guest done earlier, we were talking about the Democrats and this zeal of theirs to make America a crap hole, really. And a lot of people would kind of disagree with that. But for me, there's a clear agenda for the Democrats. They always talk about agendas, but they have the real agenda in all of this, I think.
Right, and you know what I was thinking a few days back was they're treating the death of George Floyd the same way that they treated the virus.
Yeah.
So what it is the people that want to take Trump out are going to use anything that they can find against him, and them be damned, because they're behind the pearly gates in their marble mansions,
Right.
and they don't have to deal with it. And the sad part is, people like Nancy Pelosi, people like Newsom, the governor in California, they have thousands and thousands of homeless, some of them veterans.
Right.
And instead of trying to improve their community, they're destroying their community because they want to take out Donald Trump.
Right, and I think the concern is, they're in their ivory towers, eating their gourmet ice cream and in their refrigerators. But I can guarantee you that there will be no scheduled protests in their neighborhoods. Even just with NYC right now, I was talking to a friend earlier today who was saying that there were even protests, on 3rd Avenue. It scares me that the authorities are not stepping in and doing anything about it, because ultimately what happens is they get this ideology that they can do what the frick they please. I know for a fact that President Trump offered, Fredo's big brother, Fredo Sr. Cuomo, for the National Guard to come in to control it, and he said, "Oh no, we got it." But clearly, you don't got it, Cuomo. When there were still people, rioting and looting and behaving in this way. But surely, if we do not have informed leadership within our states, because let's face it, it's all the blue states. I don't see this happening in many red states. If we don't have informed leadership, how the helicopter can we ever hope to get away from this?
Well, you can't, and that's the thing. Throughout this whole situation, President Trump was guided to a bunker, I think, for probably a 12 to 24-hour period.
Right.
And the liberals on social media were calling him a coward, this, that, and
Yeah.
That's what they do with any president. And the other thing is, you're saying President Trump's out there? Well, where are all the Democrats?
Yeah, of course.
I hear them, in front of a camera and behind the microphone. I don't see them out on the street with the people, just like always, because they don't live in those communities. They live an hour or two outside of the communities that they have destroyed.
Exactly. And the worry is, for me, you know who ends up with the bill for all of this, don't you? You and I, the taxpayer.
Yeah.
The American taxpayer
Right,
ends up with the bill for all of this.
Yeah, it always is the American taxpayer, but the Democrats' solution to any problem is just higher taxes, and now we see just the destruction of this country, because Xander, those people in that community are many of the communities, but I'm speaking of Minneapolis right now because
Right.
I saw a lot of videos on this. The people in those communities were already struggling because of
For sure.
COVID-19. And after this, Xander, they're not going to recover.
No.
They're not.
No, but don't you think that that's part of the plan? Because then they can swoop in and say, you know, oh, well, you know, this is what Donald Trump has done. Let us help you. I mean, they've done nothing.
Right.
You know, Joe Biden's been been in office for 40 years. He's done nothing to help people. You know, Barack Obama, first black president, first African president, first gay president. First president, first black president, did nothing for the African American community, the black community as they wish to be called now. But the worry for me is that these things are being ignored. So who was responsible for all of the black people that were killed during Barack Obama's term of office? You know, the black on black crime. Was that Donald Trump's fault too?
Well, that's the thing. It's such a double standard, which we always talk about. Your show, in particular, has talked about double standards for a very long time, going back to Chris Saucier and the murderess Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
But, you know, the sad part is throughout all of this, we know the Democrats are going to try to get everything that they want. And the big one is the mail-in voting.
Yeah.
Standard. And if you have them telling people they can't go out to the store, only 2 at a time, and there are mobs in the streets rioting, they might get their way. So we have to be really careful. And I'll tell you, listen,
Right.
if things keep going on in this direction, which I've been watching a little bit on Fox News, and it looks like it is, we're going to have to just, you know, I hate to say this. I never thought I would say this in my life, but we might have to institute martial law.
Well, it's funny
It
you
might
should
be
say
the
that
only choice.
because I've said that this week as well. Because
Yeah.
let's face it, this actually would put things into perspective. I mean, isn't it like some crazy? Do you remember that film that Kurt Russell was in called Escape from New York? It's kind of like we're watching that.
Great movie.
You know, absolutely. It's like we're living that out. And you know, I love the United States, and you know, if circumstances were different, I would want to be there. But I'm actually glad I'm not there right now. To be honest, I am glad I am not there to witness not just this carnage, but this destruction of the country that I love at the hands of the Democrats. And clearly, they are the ones with this agenda to actually do that. Hi, Shelley. I hope you're good. Where do you think this is going, Chet? Just as a final thought, where is it going? Is it going to get better quickly, or do you think we're going to be talking about this in 2 weeks' time still?
It'll get better, but it's going to take some time, and we're going to see stuff like this going all the way until November. Eventually, it's going to have to clear because President Trump's going to make the decision to send the military in there and force him. And he's basically said that through his Twitter. The scary part is that the Democrats are supporting this behavior. If anyone doubts me, Xander, there's a story linked up on Fox News.
Right.
It's linked up on Breitbart. Joe Biden's campaign has been bailing out the people
Yeah.
that have been looting.
Yeah, absolutely. And so have John Legend and his wife Chrissy Teigen, trashy. Well, sorry, I'm not going to swear on my own show. $200,000 they put up for bail. I mean, yeah, I would have had a little bit of respect for them if they'd actually done that to restore. You know, look at that black guy that was crying in the street because they'd wrecked his shop, and you know he'd worked all his life for it. You know, I could have respected them if they'd done that, but I have no respect for these people. They're excuses for Americans. And so I want people to remember that next time he's got a record out, don't buy it. Don't support these people. These people are anti-American,
No.
and they're anti-Donald Trump. And the way to go is to boycott them, you know, forever, basically.
Yeah, hit him in the pocket. And you know, the sad part is, Xander, I was scrolling down, and the meme that you put up was there, and I said, oh, wow, they contributed to it. And then I scrolled a little more, and I'm like, oh, of course.
Yeah. Oh.
You know, they're not rebuilding the businesses.
Yeah, I felt that. I thought that right away because I scrolled down and I was like, oh, well, maybe they're not so bad. And then I thought, yeah, they are the trailer trash that you know, apologies to any of our listeners that live in trailers. It is just a phrase. But you know, they're the worst kind of American. We do have to leave it there. We are at the end of the show, but thank you for calling back in. Thank you for saving me from the script reading guest. We will laugh about that in days to come.
You have saved me many a time.
For sure.
So I don't mind coming in as the life of the. Just ask the promoters first. Say he's not 80, is he?
Yeah.
Like I said, it's happened to me, so I know the thing.
Yeah. I didn't book Joe Biden, did I? But there you go. I will remove him from the publicity.
Mine was just
Sure.
worse. His hearing aid started to give feedback. So.
Oh, is that what it was?
Even worse.
He said, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. And I thought, well, I know the Skype's not always very good, but if I can hear you, surely you can hear me. So, you know, it kind of is what it is. But we got through the show anyway. We made a difference. And you know, we will continue to do so. But for now, thank you so much. Chet Martin, anchor from Freedom on Deck, and he will be back with us this week, but I'm not sure what day.
I think it's tomorrow.
Right.
Thanks, Xander.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, Chet. Take care.
Take care, brother.
Bye.
Good night.
That was Chet Martin from Freedom on Deck. Make sure you check him out. And also check out the show, which is Sunday, 3 to 5. I'm not even going to try and say news now and stimulating chat. There you go. I think I got it. Thanks to everybody in the live feed. Not had your fill of the Gibster. That's me, in case you wondered. You can catch me 5 nights a week, 5 Pacific, 7 Central, 8 Eastern, and I need a new. I definitely need a new auto cue. 1 in the UK and 12 in Australia the next day. On tomorrow's show, Dan Woke from Good Guy, Bad Gun, and Dylon Vogue. Thanks for joining us. Stay safe out there. And I really do, I really do love you all. Goodbye.
It has been good to me this time around. Things were the other bound to change when it was found. Sugar never tasted sweeter on my lips. My heart is now intact, and I can find no ribs. This is love, yeah, love. Never known true love before. Seen so many counterfeits that left me on the floor. This is love, yeah, love. All will come to those who wait. Time it cannot know the bounds, and eras don't dictate.
Click the bell button and subscribe to keep up with the Xander Gibbs Show. Oh, yes.